So I'm gonna open the application that I set up. Alright, so when you create a new account, this is the first thing that's going to come up after it asks for username, password, and security question and everything. This is the first thing that's going to come up. So which term are you applying for? You're going to apply for fall quarter. That is the next year fall semester. So you're going to apply for fall quarter or semester 2014. And what are you applying as? Transfer. Alright, then down here you have some options as to what classes you took and how you took them. So I have taken college courses. This should apply to most of us. So I've taken college courses after high school and BA, but I do not have a bachelor's or bachelor's degree. Okay. Next thing is units. How many units do you have? The first one is fewer than 60 units. Now what you see all the UCs do is that if you have less than 60 units, they may accept you. They'll take you in, but then they're going to put you as sophomore. So you're going to have to spend another year over there. So you might find yourself in a position where you've done all your major requirement courses, but then you haven't done some of the GEs, which are not required for your major. So you end up getting less than 60 units. You can still apply. They will not say you cannot apply. They will not block you from applying. Anybody can apply. But if they accept you, they may put you as a sophomore. So you would have to spend one extra year over there, and in that year you would be taking elective classes. So it's the same as GE, but they call it electives. Second is 60 to 89 units. That is the units that you need to get in as a junior. So if you have above 60, you would be applying as a junior year. So you would be getting into the third year. Now, some of us have taken so many classes that we already passed 90 units. Like I went to 85 units? So what they do is they have a limit of the units that they accept. That limit is 70 units. They'll take your classes, they'll give you credit for the classes you've done above the 70 units, but they're not going to give you credit for that. So 70 units in UC system are equivalent to 105 units. So if you go above that, they would give you credit, but they're not going to count the units. Why do they do that? Because they want you to spend at least 2 years over there. Over there, you can graduate with a minimum of 180 degrees. So their main focus is that you would take your major classes, but in 1 year you would be done with all your units. So in 1 year you would have that 75 units already set up. So they want you to spend 2 years, and to do that, they're having you do lesser. They're taking in lesser units. So they're limiting how many units you can bring in, so that you end up doing 2 years over there. And those 2 years you would be doing all your major classes. And in addition to that, you would have to do some electives too, because all your major classes would not add up to those 75 units. Questions? We all good?
Someone has a question.
Yeah.
So if you, would you have to end up retaking class? Like let's say, like English, would you have to retake it if you got over the 70 unit mark?
No, what they're going to do is they're going to give you a list of classes that you can take. So there's like a whole list of classes. Like there's languages, there's cultures, there's geography, there's culture studies, culture history. There's a whole list. There's like 100 courses. And you have to look over them to be able to see. So they're not going to make you do the same thing, but they're going to have you do another one. Yes?
I thought you weren't able to apply to UCs without less, or if you have less than 60 units.
No, you can still apply. It's just that...
Do you have to finish all the 60 before you're able to actually
Well,
enroll?
the minimum they've set is 60 units for you to be able to transfer. But then you can still apply if you want to. But there's no guarantee that you're going to get in, because most of the UCs like their incoming transfer students to have at least 60 units, so that they already are set up and they have their mind at that level, because at UC you're going to work fast-paced. You don't have time. Like right now, me, I do not have time to even consider eating lunch. Like I walk and I'm like reading a book. So they want you to be mentally prepared for it. Yeah?
I wasn't that clear on you said you don't have 60 units, right now, or by the time of the end of spring?
By the time you finish. So what happens is that you're going to submit your application in November, right? But you're still going to be here in spring. So what you're going to do is you're going to put those classes as planned. Those planned courses may change, of course. Like we make changes all the time. So what happens is that in January, February, they ask you to update your application. So if you have made any changes in the spring quarter, or sorry, in the spring semester, you would put that, instead of taking this class, I'm taking this class. And this is the grade that I go out for fall. So when you submit in November, you would not know what grades you're going to get in your fall classes. So you're going to put those grades in January, February when they open up the updates. So you would put your grades in then, and you would also be able to change your planned courses then. So you still have a chance to update your application after submitting it. We good? Questions? Alright, so this is your address. I just put SMC address, but please put your residential address where they could mail you information, because they're going to mail you a lot of information that is going to be really helpful to you, and it's going to tell you everything that you need to know. Alright, let's see. Here is if you attended California high school. If you were here, you would put that in, all the information. It's really, really straightforward. I'm going to skip this basic information and go into activities and awards. Okay, you see this list on this side? Educational prep programs, community service, work experience, awards and honors, extracurricular activities, review activities and awards. First thing is prep programs. It's basically if you participate in any program that helps you transfer to UC. For example, like there's a scholarship program, so you could put that in over there. Community service, AGS. Work experience, if you worked. Like if you did an internship or you did a job for pay, that would come under work experience, you would put that over there. Awards and honors. You can put in anything in the awards and honors. Anything, like literally anything. Like I put in all my certificates that I got in there. Like just blast them with information. Yes?
How do you scan them and they send them the actual diploma?
No. You just have to write it. Just write it. Like if you received AGS Board Member certificate, you just write that. AGS Board Member for this semester, this term. That's it. They're not going to ask you to send a copy. Yeah.
Does it have to be in the United States, or it can be
anything? It can be from your own home country. It can be literally anything can be put on this application. Just have to put the information. I'm kind of running short of time, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to personal statements. I'm going to take really quick. It's going to be really short. Personal statements. Okay. Personal statements is all about you as a person. It's not what other people do, what other people did. It's all about you. So you're writing to say what you are, what you were, what you've been. In my personal statement, I actually explained what is differentiation in mathematics. Like, literally, I just wrote, you take this step and do this, it's dx over dy, and all that stuff. You can write anything in your personal statement as long as it relates to you. If it does not relate to you, they're going to know. And they're not going to like that. So make it's relating to you. You don't have to make it special. You just have to be specific to you and revise it. Do not start in the last week of November, please. Because you're not going to have time to write it, get it corrected by professors, review it, and then submit it in a really good condition. So start it now so you would have time to finalize it. Yes?
When you say all about you, I mean, how far in your life? I mean, I'm older, so I got a lot.
You can write anything. Like, you can write something from when you were 6 years old. Like, an incident that happened in your life. How did it affect you?
Right.
How did it motivate you to be what you are now?
Okay.
How did it affect your decisions for your major? It's anything. Like, literally anything that has affected you. Yeah.
So it's basically one thing that affected you because it's limited.
Well, it's limited to a certain number of words. So like, there's two personal statements. One is about your major. One is about you and your background. So you have to limit them to 1,000 words. You can do like 600, 400, 500, 500, 300, 700. It's up to you. But you have to be specific to yourself. Okay? Any questions? No? Alright, so if anybody, yeah.
When I apply out of high school, they had one of the same questions. Am I allowed to reuse an essay, or should I write a new one?
What I would recommend is that edit it, because right now your English may be different than what it was in high school.
Okay.
So I would say edit it, make it a little bit better if you can, and get it corrected by English professors over here. You have English professors, you have your friends, and if possible, if you're comfortable, get it read by one stranger at least. Because if they understand it, then you're sure that the admission people who are going to read it will understand it.
Okay.
Okay? Make sense? If you guys have any questions, I'm going to be here after the meeting. I'm sorry I took so much time with the meeting. I'm gonna be here. If you want my email, you can ask me and I'll just give it to you. Phone number, anything, whatever, any information that you want, just ask me.
Good stuff.
Alright.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.